Are you looking at doing residency in Canada and practicing as a full-fledged physician in Canada by going through the board exams and certification process? If that's you, then this video is for you. We will roughly talk about new changes that have occurred and that have already taken place. We will talk about the exams itself and the different things that you should be aware of. And we will talk about how to get your LMCC and the licensure of the Medical Council of Canada all in this video. And if it's your first time here, please hit like and subscribe. I am an internal medicine resident at the University of Calgary. Without wasting much time, let's dive right into it. So for you to actually practice medicine in Canada, there is multiple ways, and I've talked about that. There is 8 different ways in which you can become a physician in Canada. Now, one of the pathways for foreign trained physicians is usually for them to sit for the MCCQE and sit for the NAC OSCE exams, which is again like an OSCE exams that you go through a couple of stations, about 12 stations, and then you get a score at the end of it. So for the MCCQE Part I, their objectives, and we're going to be working so hard to produce you the best course ever on your MCCQE, which will give you a guaranteed 500 in your exams. Otherwise, we will definitely reimburse you. Please keep an eye on that, as that is soon coming, and as well as our NAC OSCE, which will help you navigate all the different tips and tricks of the NAC OSCE exam. I had superior performance on these exams and I ended up matching in my first choice, and I got 22 invites as an international medical graduate after having applied to 28 different programs across general surgery, internal medicine, and family medicine. So the MCCQE Part I is more or less very similar to the United States Medical Licensing Exam Step 2, CK, and so it's essentially more or less the same material that you used to prepare for. It is a clinical assessment. You have about 300 questions now, and the time is adequate for you to go through all those questions. They're a little more technical as before, but as you know, the LMCC, or the Medical Council of Canada, has been changing these exam format almost every 3 to 5 years now. And then you have the NAC OSCE exams, which has replaced the MCCQE Part II. NAC OSCE exams is a 12-station exams where you will go through a series of stations back to back, seeing standardized patients and acting as if it was a real station, getting history, physical exams, counseling, ordering tests, interpreting results, that kind of thing. So these are the different exams, and these are the things that you should quickly know about them. Now, you can sit for the MCCQE Part I exams 4 times a year, usually in every season, let's say in the winter, summer, spring, and the fall. But for the NAC OSCE exams, which is the OSCE one, there's more logistics that come into it in terms of organizing, training standardized patients, arranging the center that is usually like a hospital setting just so that it's comfortable for every candidate to come and participate, organizing all the foreign trained physicians that are in Canada and wishing to sit for the exams, because about 5,000, between 5,000 to 7,000 candidates sit for the exams yearly. And so they need to learn more logistics. So you can only take those exams usually twice per year, around the springtime and in the fall. So keep an eye on this calendar, register, look into your Physicians Apply account and see what they're talking about in terms of the dates, deadlines of payments, and when you can book or pick your site or your center where you would like to ideally take the exams. Sometimes rumors go that certain centers are better than others, others are more sympathetic than others. I rest my case talking about that in this video, but updates that I wanted to bring to you would be the LMCC changes. You know that after you pass your Medical Council of Canada qualifying exams Part I, which is these exams that look like this Step 2 CK, you are entitled, and if you've done your source verification through Physicians Apply, you are entitled to get the licensure of the Medical Council of Canada, which is equivalent to the ECFMG certification in the US, to put that in context. So we sit for these exams. Before, it was a cumbersome process. You had to pay a fee, you had to wait for long, and you had to get this certificate that finally comes in the mail to tell you that, oh, you have the licensure of the Medical Council of Canada, which is essentially BS. Don't tell anyone I said that, because what does it serve you? Like, you can't get a job with it, you can't get anything. It's just to certify that you've sat and passed those exams. Some people hiring you as a research assistant, as an associate physician or clinical assistant might see that as valuable, but honestly, in terms of you practicing medicine as a full-fledged, full-licensed physician with the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada, it doesn't help in any way. But it's quite important for you to get it because it proves then that you've gone through that initial difficult stage and you have cleared those exams. Until before, it used to be complex. They have to send this to you by mail, but they've completely changed it. And from July 26th of 2026, this has become online and it's become digital. So they'll actually send you this digital. The cost has reduced and the processing time has actually reduced. I'm going to take you right here on my screen and we're just going to see that information together and you would see it for yourself. So coming right here, you would see the changes that were ahead, and this was a little back fall. For the Medical Council of Canada, it's introducing an important change to the license sheet of the LMCC to modernize the process and make it easier for candidates to obtain their LMCC either earlier in their medical careers. This is helpful. So once you're done with your training as well as a resident and you want to apply to the College of Physicians and Surgeons, they actually ask you for this certificate. They want to be sure that you actually clear the exam. So this is valuable at all stages. And effective from July or January 26, 2026, and candidates will no longer, this 12 months postgraduate period to be able to get it. Everyone, CMGs, IMGs, abroad, everyone needs this to submit to the College of Physicians and Surgeons to be able to get their full license. So it's not just an IMG thing, but it's a thing for everyone practicing medicine in Canada, or everyone going to practice medicine in Canada would definitely need their LMCC to submit to the College of Physicians and Surgeons to be able to get their full license to then practice. So if you're awarded your LMCC, which Canadians also have to sit for these exams as they train and they have to pass it. It's a pass-fail for them. Scores don't really matter as it matters for IMGs, but they need to sit and pass and get this certificate and get these results, which will then help them to be able to get their LMCC. And everyone, of course, has a Physicians Apply account. And if you have done your credential source verification, then you would be eligible to get this LMCC. So it's now become a very streamlined process. As part of these changes, the LMCC will introduce a digital version of this, and candidates who meet the eligibility requirement will then get a digital number automatically on request, depending on their exams timing. And also a printed testament and the LMCC certificate itself that will be awarded to them, and it's going to come like in a wallet-sized plastic card. So interesting. We will see what it looks like, but this is the most important and critical part that I know that you've been waiting for would be application time and LMCC request times, eligibility criteria, what you receive as default, and the actual cost, because all of this always comes at a cost. Nothing is ever free. You gotta pay. All right. So current processing, if you request your LMCC before this, it's gonna take again whatever time it's gonna take, and this will be the cost. Now, if you apply for these the MCCQE one before this date, you would request your LMCC at this date, and so these are the different amounts that you will pay at that time. And the majority of the things are optional. So you can either decide to have this certificate now in your wallet as digital and not even care and not pay much money. Because when the College of Physicians and Surgeons asks for it, you will just send them a digital copy. Usually, you don't have to send them like a copy. And even if they were to ask for a physical copy, you could just print it out, scan it, hand sign it, put it in an envelope, go to the post office and send it to them, and they'll get it. And that will still be the same thing. So again, this will be for you to get the digital LMCC number automatically issued. And sometimes the fees is $0 for admin fees. And then this is testament if you want it, or if you wanted the wallet card, what you're going to get. So these are the different changes that have occurred in terms of you getting your LMCC. Otherwise, no new changes have occurred with the exams itself and with the OSCE stations themselves. So until then, if you've liked this video and you feel like it was important, please hit like to support us, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.